Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Like, share, comment, subscribe, become a channel member where you'll get access to all archive videos, support independent media, super chats enabled, super thanks for the replay gang, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Dr. Thunder Music, all one word. Spell out the word doctor. And if you'd like to feed me sandwiches, well, all methods of play apply. Sandwich gang in the building. Don't mess with my sandwich money. I am Dr. Thunder, and this is Two Dads React. And we are going to jump right into the festivities. We're talking about Candace Owens. What is wrong with Candace Owens? What's going on with Candace Owens? She's got the number one podcast in the world right now. She's doing crazy numbers. Crazy numbers every time every time I head over there to see what she's doing. Her numbers are just um, astounding. It's almost like it's ridiculous, the numbers she's doing. And this is, of course, after she got, let's see here. All right, there we go. This is, of course, after she got booted from Daily Wire. I mean, this goodness. I mean, so much stuff has happened, and there's a laundry list of what most folks would consider conspiracy theories that she's noted for, and she has seemed to polarize MAGA even, so within the so-called MAGA movement, there are the sort of, there's the solidarity with a certain location in the Middle East, and then there's those that are more not anti that location, but are acknowledging that there have been some issues. You've got dispensationalists amongst the sort of evangelicals, which has been somewhat of a base for Trump. And that seems to line up with, the APAC money. So anyhow, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, but I've got a short list. Let's see here. I've got a short list of Candace Owens. Let's see here. Here we go. Conspiracy theories. So, of course, all of the stuff associated with Charlie Kirk and his untimely demise, all of the antagonistic stuff and probing and asking lots of questions, Turning Point USA towards Turning Point USA, the claims that potentially some aspect of this is an inside job, the mention of these Egyptian airplanes and how they've actually been tracking Erica Kirk's movement. Let's see here. The Macrons, Brigitte Macron, with respect to gender identity, and the so-called assassination plot against herself, or was supposed thing. I mean, there's claims that she's a historical revisionist. She's been claimed to be an anti-Semite. There's any number of things. And, she she went Catholic. She was, I think, some sort of evangelical Protestant, and she went Catholic. I think her husband is Catholic. I think that's part of the reason she started looking that way. But apparently she was having conversations with Charlie Kirk before he died, and he was looking Catholic or maybe Orthodox or something. He was looking that direction. I have, listened to a lot of really angry folks from the political right, aligned on the political right, angry with her, as I said, for sort of dividing the MAGA movement, as it were. Tim Pool is one that's pretty upset with her. We know that Steven Crowder and her do not get along. Andrew Wilson has been asking for the evidence. She's asking these questions, but where's the evidence? He keeps saying. But then she's sort of allied with some other folks on that side. So the Megyn Kellys, the Tucker Carlsons, and pretty much the folks that have been willing to ask certain questions. And then she has some unlikely sort of somewhat advocates of hers, or at least they're listening to what she's saying. People like Jimmy Dore, and folks like Sabby Sabs, Sabrina Salvati, who has a sizable YouTube community and is a third-party advocate. So, some are claiming that she is, I don't know, inventing a new approach to politics, where she's, not just lining up ideologically with one side or the other side. And she's finding that a lot of people are tired of a lot of the goofy regular politics stuff that we've been seeing for the last, 50 years, and how corrupt it is. It seems to be oligarchs versus, corporatists, and American people are caught in the middle. And a lot of both parties have been heavily supported by AIPAC. Everybody's taking the AIPAC money. So now this is what I'm going to say. I think that she says a lot of things that are true. I think that perhaps she's a bit reckless. But I will give her that, if you give her a bone, she's not going to let go. She's not going to let go. So recently, something happened where Candace met with Erica Kirk, and a lot of Candace's followers were concerned about this meeting. They didn't know if she was going to come back alive. They were concerned that maybe, when she meets with Erica, that she'd take the money, as it were, and then stop talking about them. It was a lot of this kind of stuff. So anyhow, that's what today's show is going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about what's wrong with Candace Owens. Let's go. Warning: some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised. What's
Hey, how
happening,
you doing,
man?
man? Not much, man. Been a few weeks, I think, since we did this last.
I think it was like November 6th or something since we did one.
Yeah, it's been a little while. It's been a little while, and yeah, it's like a month, over a month.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I just find it really bizarre some of the stuff going on with this whole Candace Owens. Because I remember looking back at her account like 2, 3 years ago, and I remember talking to my researcher and saying, "Look, they're like suppressing her because she's only getting like 50,000 views on a video." I remember saying that to my researcher like 2, 3 years ago. And now she's getting millions of views on every video.
Yep.
And it's a very, very, very drastic change from what it was just 2, 3 years ago with her account. And I don't know, man. It's just kind of weird seeing how much views she's getting. And then also some of the weird stuff going on with between her and Erica Kirk and just all the people surrounding the whole thing. Jimmy Dore as well. He's getting lots of views talking about her as well.
Yep.
And I find it really weird because whenever I've done a video on the topic, I get half as many views as I usually get. I thought that was a little strange. It's almost like I don't know what to make of it. I don't know. I feel like there's some weird stuff going on, some weird shenanigans. I don't know what it is though. I can't put my finger on what it exactly is, but I feel like there's something weird going on with the whole thing. So, have you talked about her at all on your channel or no?
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to her about I haven't I have not done a show. No, that's not true. I did a show maybe 3 weeks ago
Uh-huh.
where she was being interviewed by Myron Gaines on his channel.
All right.
And he got a lot of views, of course, on that video. And yeah, so I did it on that, but as far as really going in, I mean, I I I, I covered the Charlie Kirk assassination.
Oh
I
yeah, I
covered a
did
lot of
too.
that stuff,
Yeah.
but I haven't like really leaned in on some of the things that Candace is saying.
Yeah. Like I covered the Charlie Kirk shooting early on for like the first month. And then after a while, I just felt like there wasn't a lot of new information. So I stopped getting into it as much. You know what I mean? But I
Mm.
noticed Candace kept continued to talk about it for about 3 months total. And she's, of course, looking for answers. But I just find the whole thing fascinating because, Nick, obviously, right? Nick,
Mm.
the other guy that's sort of big recently.
Yeah.
He gets so he has like 90%, 90 some percent men watching him. She has mostly women following her. And my researcher said it's basically I don't know what the phrase he uses. But he basically it's like you say soccer moms. I'm not saying that it's soccer moms, but it's a lot of women. A lot of women follow her. Even my researcher's mother was following her for a while, but apparently she's not now. I don't know why. But I just find the whole thing fascinating because when I talked about Nick, they tried to demonetize my video, but when I talked about Candace, they didn't do that. And I just thought the whole thing was really curious. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's always some weird stuff going on, and I actually wonder if they're trying to cancel all of us again, like they did back in 2017. I don't think they'll succeed, but my theory is that they're promoting her and letting her say whatever she wants, and YouTube's literally promoting her, from what I can tell, at least a little bit, because she wasn't getting near the views before. So, like Russell Brand, right? Russell Brand, he's been like I can see these patterns because I've been doing YouTube for like over a decade. I can see the patterns. I can see when they're kind of pushing a channel down, when they're pushing it up, and they do this stuff. They do this stuff 100%. And like I saw Russell Brand, he was having a hard time getting any views, and then all of a sudden now he's getting a lot of views again. I'm wondering if they're doing it so that they can say, look, we can't allow all these conspiracies to go wild everywhere anymore. We got to rein this in. Oh, we got to take away. We can't allow ads on these kind of crazy conspiracy. You know what I mean? Like they might try that. They did that back in 2017, and they had the adpocalypse. You remember that whole thing?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember.
So I'm wondering if that's what they're trying to do again. Like they're promoting her, letting her do whatever, and then they're going to come in and say, "Oh, look, up, you guys, all these conspiracy theories again. You know, we can't allow that anymore." You know what I mean? And then they try
Yeah,
to
I
use it
yeah,
on us.
it's
All of us.
interesting. I mean, it could be what you're saying totally.
I hope it's
And I
not.
know.
I hope it's
Well,
not.
the thing is we know that YouTube definitely does have favorites, and they definitely. I think my channel is shadow banned.
Oh, it
Um,
is. I know it is. It's
right.
like obvious.
So I mean, if you look at the quality of the programming and the consistency of the programming and the kind of engagement that I get from the people that watch the channel frequently,
Hmm. Yep.
um, I mean, that communicates to me that I should be getting a lot more views than I do, but it's fine. I have a you know I have a sort of a strategy around this, and it's been sort of slow growth, but
Uh huh.
there are definitely certain topics that they don't want you discussing, and they're not necessarily just right leaning topics or left leaning topics. There's like a collection of topics, I think, on the left and on the right that they don't want you discussing. Um,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
so,
Well, she's dividing the right now, right?
yeah,
So I mean,
it's
it's
sort
it.
of
If
like
you
this.
think,
It's a division between so-called America First and MAGA.
but I really think if you think about YouTube and what they want, right? They love this. They love this because this can actually make them win the midterm. So if the right is divided, then they won't succeed in the election, which means the left will win. So they don't have a problem promoting her because that will divide the right, and then they'll lose the election. And then in their minds, they're like, "Hey, we won. We got what we wanted out of it." And so I think there's that aspect as well. That's my kind of my theory on it, because it seems really bizarre how effectively the right has been divided now. And it also it feels like our president is just really not doing a good job either. I think it's both. So it's like a
Look,
combination
man,
of the two.
hey, man, you already know what I think. I mean, I have, I've been looking at this dude with a side eye, since day one, because he 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 was not a he wasn't really a conservative. He's never really been a conservative. If you look at his voting history, look at before he was a Democrat before.
Hmm.
Many of his takes on certain issues are not the sort of classic conservative Republican, you know, a neocon kind of issues. But one thing that him and Kamala Harris had in common, which I think is part of the reason why they got pushed to the top of both of their tickets, is they would take the APAC money.
Well, see, yeah, that's another. Well, the concern is Trump was actually doing pretty good the first 6 months, and then I felt like a lot of it fell apart. Well, there's a couple things, and look, I'm going to just tell you what I think. So around end of May, June, he came out against that country in the Middle East. He came out against Bibi. He was pretty pissed at him. And then the next thing you know, he's visiting. That guy from the Middle East is visiting his house, the White House, talking to him. Next thing you know, all of a sudden Trump changed his tune like overnight. Overnight changed his tune, and then he started talking against the files. You know, the island, Jeffrey, that whole thing. Started talking against that, and so I think what happened was they threatened him somehow, so he had to get on board, right? Or they're gonna mess up some stuff, right? Mess up some people because they have a lot. I think a lot of people have been on that island. I think there's a lot of people that I think it's a lot of people. I don't think Trump did, but I think he knows people that did, and maybe there's even some innocent people. I don't know. Who knows? But the whole point is that I think they used it against him. That's my theory. And then after that, he had this lady Susan Wiles join as chief of staff. She's talking trash about the VP. Susan Wiles, the chief of staff for our president, is literally talking trash on an interview against Trump and the VP. Now, if you
Yeah.
if you had an employee that's talking trash about you, what would you do? fire him. But guess what? He's not firing her. Why? Because she's been put there because he's on a leash and she's there to poke him.
Yeah,
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm just saying this. You had a lot of people talking like this guy would never take the money. He's too big to,
He's taking
he's got
money.
his own money. He doesn't
Yeah,
need them, so he's gonna just do, stick
it's
to his
not bad,
guns. He's gonna do whatever. But
right?
he's the same as everybody else. You
Well,
just
I
had
don't
to
think
figure out what the button was.
Well, there's a button. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think he needed money though, but he's taking money because I think he's on a leash. I think once
No,
he
no,
gets,
yeah, no, understand what I meant by that. I didn't mean that he actually needs money.
oh
I'm
yeah, you don't
saying
need money. Yeah,
I'm saying that that was what people were saying, was that
right.
since he has so much money, how are they going to get him? I mean, he doesn't care,
Yeah,
this
well,
kind of a
there's
thing. But they
that
found
island
something.
thing. Yeah, the island thing goes very far and wide. I think way farther and wider than people realize.
Yeah, but
Uh,
Candace has got annoyed with him over that. Also,
yeah.
what's her name? And she was like a huge supporter of his, and she just resigned. I guess she's
Oh,
really,
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
yeah,
Yeah, Marjorie Taylor
Marjorie
Greene.
Taylor Greene.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff. The last couple months have been really, really bizarre. And I think Candace has every right to investigate all this stuff. My whole
Yeah,
concern is just that I feel like the devil's just messing with everything. I feel like it's these elites just screwing everything up. It reminds me of that movie, The Lord of the Rings. They had the table they were all around. What was it, Fellowship of the Ring? What do they call it?
yeah,
And then it broke up. After a while, it broke up. Everyone's turning against each other. It's like that. It feels like that. It
yeah.
feels like they found all the weaknesses and they're like picking off everybody and screwing up everything. It's like that. That's what I feel like. Not saying that our president is like literally some perfect guy in the Fellowship of the Ring. Like it's not like, you know what I mean, right? So I feel like it's just picking off and manipulating and messing up everything. Yeah, the whole Charlie Kirk thing really was a big story as well. I don't believe
Right.
the official story either. I'm with Candace on that. I don't agree with the official story. And
Yeah.
I don't think she's like doing this to I don't think she has like a weird agenda or anything. I think she's literally trying to look into this, but it's just it's not turned out too well. Like everything's falling apart. I feel like this whole thing sucks now. It's like all falling apart, right?
So I've got a number of
You got
videos,
some
and
stuff?
I've got so let's go ahead and jump right
All
in.
right, let's do that.
Uh, Jumping right into some of these videos. This is every claim Candace Owens has made about Kirk assassination. I thought that was a good place to jump right into this. Let's check it out.
We've been wanting to make this video for a long time, but tracking everything down has not been easy. So here's a recap of all of the verified claims Candace Owens has made about her quote-unquote best friend Charlie Kirk's assassination. Most recently, Egyptian military surveillance planes,
Erica was the one being tracked by these planes, and indeed, it turns out that she was correct.
or maybe Charlie Kirk's Jewish donors had a motive.
I think that in the coming weeks, there's going to be a lot of financial reports that are coming out, and I, first and foremost, do not believe that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk. About 48 hours before Charlie Kirk died, Charlie informed people at Turning Point, as well as Jewish donors and a rabbi, that he had no choice but to abandon the pro-Israel cause outright.
There's-
Okay.
She
there's
also believes
something
this was
there.
a military hit that involved both
It definitely is. He
I
definitely
mean, there's
was.
some weird stuff.
Say it again.
Yeah, go ahead. No, there's definitely some weird stuff going on with those things. I
Yeah,
agree.
I mean the he definitely was turning away from the sort of blind Israel support. He definitely was turning.
Yeah, he
turning
was starting to
away
do
from
that. He was starting to do that. Yeah,
it. Yeah,
I agree.
foreign actors and literal actors.
I actually believe that this was a military hit that involved foreign actors and also literal actors.
Brigitte Macron is suing Candace specifically to distract her from looking into the real story behind Charlie Kirk's assassination.
You've never sued anybody for the claim that you were born male. So I don't know what this is. Just like we're just gonna all hound Candace to try to distract her from looking into Charlie Kirk's murder and assassination, but it's focusing me more.
You don't have to believe this, but Candace Owens knows for a fact that Charlie Kirk was betrayed because he came to her in a dream.
I similarly, like I just said, had a vivid dream this weekend, and Charlie came to me and he told me that he was betrayed. And so for me, you don't have to believe that. but I do believe that.
This guy was wearing a hoodie, so maybe he was in on it, until the guy himself came forward and said that he was not. Possibly one of our favorites, the shooter could have been hiding under Charlie Kirk behind a literal trapped door.
And I remember when I looked at the footage, I felt like it was coming up.
You know
I
what?
don't know anything about ballistics. I'm not an expert.
What?
You know what's so weird is like I remember looking into all these theories. There's so many weird things that happened that day. I actually don't blame people for having a lot of weird theories because there was literally a bunch of weird stuff on that day. You can see in the footage. You can see the most crazy stuff in that footage, man. People acting weird, bullets flying the wrong direction, drones. I mean, there's like so much crazy stuff going on in that footage.
His
Like,
apparent
people
titanium,
were-
his apparent titanium neck bone.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's so many weird things. Like, I don't blame anybody for having not trusting the official story. I don't blame anyone, but that doesn't mean obviously all these theories are true. Obviously, something's true though. We know it's not the official story. That's the entire point. But yeah, I mean, when we were investigating, I was investigating a lot of stuff like this. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. Let's keep going here.
All right.
But if there was a hatch door nearby, so I'm wondering if the federal government has explored the possibility that somebody could have been under Charlie and done that. Actually, Charlie was shot from beneath him, which then could maybe explain why there was no exit wounds. Again, I'm theorizing because I have a right to.
And then maybe the most damning piece of evidence we've ever heard, there were 12 cell phones with Israeli SIM cards on campus that day.
There were, for whatever reason, 12 Israeli cell phones on the ground at Utah Valley University the day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated.
And then there was something to do with Britney Spears. And this one we really had to research because we originally thought that it was a joke. A conspiracy involving an underground bee cult.
I came across what looked to me like a bunch of people talking about bees. You're going, like literally bees. In a way that the only way I can describe it to you is like they were speaking about bees, but they weren't speaking about bees. It was very coded. There's imminent danger coming, okay? It is relating to a school. I think it's a communist underground, and I don't know why, but it has something to do with bees. Totally sensible thing to say to your husband. Then came September
This
10th,
reminds
obviously
me
Charlie
of
lost
like
his life.
2017, man. Like I remember 2017, everybody was on the internet. Like back then, I was on there. There's lots of other, I guess they call them truthers on the internet back then. You had Mario, TVC Mario, The Vigilant Christian. You had like a million other channels, White Rabbit, and there's a lot of different people, and they all had different theories on things going on around us. There was even Red Silver J. He was a black guy that was like into theories and stuff. I used to watch him. Team Knock Him Out was one of his channels as well. There's like so many of these channels back in the old days, and they would come up with theories on a lot of different stuff. Not saying it was true or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that the whole thing is that like with this whole bee cult, like I don't understand that. Do you understand that?
No,
I don't know what's going on with that. Like I said, it just reminds me of the old days. But go ahead, keep playing.
And a few days later, I was told, and I sensed instantly that there was like a hive of people that were involved in this. I just knew it. And when it happened, I just went, oh my goodness. And my gut is telling me that this was the thing, that the dread that I sensed that was coming out of school. And I had no idea. I am not a flag person at all. And then someone told me, and I was astonished, that Utah recently, extraordinarily, did modernize their bee flag. I had no idea that the Utah state flag is a hexagonal beehive, right?
And then, of course, she mused that an unidentified they took Charlie Kirk's life to prevent her reunion with him.
Did he also express that he wanted to bring me, Candace Owens, back because he was standing up for himself? And then did he, just 48 hours later, conveniently catch a bullet to the throat before our onstage reunion could happen?
And how could we forget, Owens also believes that Turning Point USA could also have been involved.
It reeks of an inside job. That
Well,
is how
she
I
does-
feel. And
inside job.
the more that we learn about this
So the whole thing with the Charlie Kirk, the whole thing with her saying it was TPUSA, that was talked about on Piers Morgan yesterday, I think it was. And she actually said, what did she say? I'm trying to remember the exact words. I don't know if they're taking that out of context or not. She said that there was a cover-up. That's what she was saying. She was saying there was a cover-up. I don't know if that clip, this lady obviously is biased against Candace. It's pretty obvious. But my whole point is that Piers Morgan was talking with her about this yesterday. And she was just saying that there was a cover up. I don't think she was actually saying TPUSA killed Charlie Kirk.
Right.
She was just, what she was doing is she was putting out a lot of different leads, and she wasn't like saying that this is the truth. She was saying this could be something, and she's putting out all these different leads, and a lot of people are taking it as if she's literally saying, oh, it was a big cult, oh, it was this, oh, it was that, you know what I mean? So
Right.
that's, I think, where the confusion is a little bit on this whole thing, is that she was not literally saying that all these are different theories that happened. She was saying this might be something. And there's a whole thing with the planes, the Egyptian planes. I've heard both sides now on that. I've heard she has some new stuff on that as well. I've heard so many things. It's getting confusing at this point. But she was saying that there's these Egyptian planes sort of following around TPUSA or Erica Kirk,
Yep.
and some are saying it's not true. But then she said, no,
Tucker
actually,
Carlson
yeah,
confirmed it. I mean, he said that
yeah.
according to
It's
his
there's so
interview.
many weird things with this thing. I mean, and then there's people saying that the data wasn't right, but then she said, well, you just misunderstood one category on her Excel spreadsheet or something like that. And now she has some new information on it today, that it was that country from the Middle East that was doing the planes. I don't know, man. I'm getting lost, but there's so much of this. There's so much I'm getting lost almost at this point.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
Bro, I mean, just not even covering her stuff, covering like what Valhalla was saying and all these other military guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy too, man. Like, I was thinking the shooter was from the right. It couldn't have been the guy from the front. And if that was an entry wound, it was way too small for 30-06. It looked like an exit wound. And the audio acoustics from all the cameras, they actually pinpointed using triangulation. It showed it to a guy to the right. Someone shot from the right. And so I actually still think it was a guy to the right. And there was actually a guy in the building to the right. We showed evidence of that. There's like a ton of stuff like this. But so
Well,
I
the
think
thing
that
is a 30-06 would, take his head clean off of his shoulders,
probably, yeah.
and
I
like
mean,
blow a big, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I'm trying not to be
So,
graphic, but
yeah,
that would not be, yeah. I'm sorry, and I don't care how much titanium enforced
yeah.
neck
I don't
bone
know.
you have. I'm
I
sorry.
don't not believe.
You're
I
done.
think Cash Patel is the worst ever for. I think the guy that was before him that was corrupt is even better than Cash. That's how bad he is. It's so bad. He's like
Yeah.
the worst guy. He's like a dude. Uh, he's like taking his girlfriend around and text our planes. He's like literally using our text hours to fly his girlfriend around everywhere.
Yeah.
It's disgusting, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's play more.
The little changes that happen, the inexplicable things that we're learning, it becomes clearer and clearer that somehow at some layer, at some stage, Turning Point USA is involved because they're giving us no clarity.
Candace also says that Charlie was betrayed after dedicating his life to President Donald Trump. In her words, what's with them giving people a holiday after they kill them?
It has made me lose faith in politics. It has made me fully lose faith in Trump. And my heart aches for the fact that he gave so much of his life to Trump and to politics. And they just were like, nope, that is it. It serves us or doesn't serve us, and we want to move on. And so here's a holiday. Bro, if they try to give me a holiday, what is with them giving people a holiday after they kill them? Why is that a thing? You know what I mean?
We have no doubt that we've missed.
Check this out, man. So a lot of people are trying to take her words and twist them on that last part, saying that they were saying that she's saying that the GOV killed him. I don't think that's what she was trying to say. But what I wanted to mention though is it seems like Trump changed a lot after Charlie Kirk as well. Charlie Kirk was shot. What day was he shot? It was 3 months ago, right? 3 months ago, like in September 10th, right? September 10th.
Yeah, that's right. September 10th.
Right.
That's right. Yep.
He changed a ton after that. Like that's when he started going weird. That's if you just ignore the whole Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens and just look at our president, when did he change? It was right around that time. He started acting really weird. He started just like saying everything bizarre. Like he was saying, like he keeps bragging all the time and just keeps doing a bunch of weird stuff and like saying he's taking money from Edelson. He recently just came on. Apparently there's a clip surfaced of him saying he's not a Christian now. And then he did another clip saying that he's a Jewish guy now. Like, what's going on here? I don't know what the hell is going on. That was in the last day. 2 of those clips came out. Him saying he wasn't a Christian, and then another one saying he's Jewish. First Jewish president, something like that. Yeah, a guy. What's that guy's name? He's a talk show guy. He put his arm around him. I can't remember his name for some reason, and he says, "You're the first Jewish president." and he like agreed with him. Who the hell is it? I read his book. I can't remember his name for some reason right now. At any rate, go ahead, man. You can play more, I guess.
Quite a few of her theories, and we don't usually make videos this long, but let's zoom out for a second. This is where young and impressionable people who are being groomed into Jew hatred are getting their information from. It's an unhinged rabbit hole with no end in
Jew hatred.
Jew hatred. Come on, man.
Like, you know what? This, to me, I'm just going to say it. It's the weirdest thing in my life. The weirdest thing is this. I had a friend like 2 decades ago talking to me about the Middle East, that country in the Middle East, telling me all these stories. Literally what Candace and Nick are doing now. I had a friend 20 years ago doing that to me, telling me that stuff. Okay. Like my entire life, he's been telling me stuff like this. So it's not like I'm new to this at all. I know about this stuff 20 years ago. And, the whole thing was I didn't really accept what he was saying. I still don't accept. I mean, I do agree that they clearly have lots of influence. I do agree there are a lot of people at the top that are from that particular place. Not all of them. Some are German, some are, you know what I mean? Like they got a lot more power and influence per capita. You know, they got a smaller population. They got a lot of power, right?
Yeah.
So, but the thing was like, I've been trying to, like, I don't want to talk about the topic, but I feel like everyone's pulling me into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even want to talk about it. And it's freaking everywhere. It's like, there was like a month there, I go on X and every story was about this stuff. Like I would go to the entertainment tab, in every freaking story. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's nuts. I don't even want to talk about it. It's like everywhere. Like you can't avoid it.
Yeah. All right.
It's like some weird thing, man. Go ahead.
You got one that never actually solves society's problems. It only blames and scapegoats, and it is a sad path to go down. This is how an entire generation stunts itself by choosing conspiracy over reality. It harms Jews, but it also harms society.
Conspiracies, eh? We've had conspiracies forever. Go ahead, man.
So I want to I'm just going to read what I have here. I asked AI, Gemini, to be precise.
Is that Google's?
Yeah, it's Google's.
Okay.
I asked them to create a more comprehensive list of Candace Owens' recent conspiracy theories. Okay. So
now conspiracy theories has the connotation of being a bad thing, but I wouldn't say it's a bad thing because we've had a lot of theories that have come true. Lots of theories. Yeah. Of course, not all of them. There's a lot of them that are not true. So that's another thing too. So you got more non-true than true, but you have a lot of true ones that are really weird. The fact that we were predicting them way before they happened, but go ahead.
So let me read this. So in late 2025, Candace Owens has focused on a series of expansive conspiracy theories involving the assassination of Charlie Kirk and international espionage in the French First family. Right. Okay, so Charlie Kirk assassination, September 2025, following the fatal shooting of Turning Point USA TPUSA founder Charlie Kirk on September 10th, 2025, Owens has repeatedly challenged the official investigation. Foreign involvement. Owens claims the Israeli government, specifically Mossad, the French military, and the U.S. military orchestrated the assassination. She alleges French foreign legionnaires were physically involved in the killing. The inside job. She has accused TPUSA leadership and Kirk's inner circle of a murderous coup or betrayal.
No, man, that's not even true. So I don't agree with that. See, that's another thing. Like her wording, they're like taking her wording and twisting it, I think, a little bit, because she's been sort of vague in some respects. She insinuates things, but she doesn't say it. She beats around the bush sometimes. Sometimes she says that there's some, conspiracy, but she doesn't mean that they killed him. But go ahead.
So inner circle of a murderous coup or betrayal, suggesting they provided all right, provided his location to the assassin to elevate themselves. Assassination details. Owens claims Kirk was shot from beneath the stage rather than the 22-year-old suspect Tyler Robinson, whom she calls a frame job target.
Okay, so let's stop before you say any more. So you and I agree that the official story doesn't make any sense, right?
Right.
So do you feel like maybe someone purposely made it so it was so messed up like this that everyone would question it?
Yeah.
What do you think about that? I mean, why is it every time we have a large assassination like JFK or anybody, like Martin Luther King Jr., right? Him as well. I mean, there's a lot of people, right? At this point, like every time it happens, it's always some weird stuff happening. It's like there's the wrong person. I mean, it's like always like this. It's never just some clean, obvious, oh, yeah, it was that guy. Oh, yeah, all the stuff lined up perfectly, right? It never is. So it makes me wonder if they intentionally do this so that people will question it and then they can use that against us somehow. Like, oh, you guys are making up conspiracy theories. Oh, so maybe that's dangerous. You shouldn't do that. We should stop you from talking about stuff like that online because that's harmful. When you're the one who literally made it this weird way, you know, I mean, I'm just wondering if that might be the case. Like, you see what I mean?
Yep. So, so Egyptian airplanes, she alleged that Egyptian airplanes tracked Kirk's widow, Erica Kirk, immediately after the event. Motive claims, she suggests Kirk was killed because he was beginning to have rational thoughts about Israel and intended to leave the pro-Israel cause. The Macrons and assassination plots. Owens is currently facing a 2025 defamation lawsuit filed by French President Emmanuel Macron and First Lady Brigitte Macron in a Delaware court.
Here, you should play this clip here, man. It's hilarious. It has to do with that topic, Brigitte Macron. It's her on Piers Morgan talking about this topic.
Okay, hold up here.
There's some funny stuff, man. I mean, you can't say this stuff isn't sometimes entertaining, particularly when it comes to Piers Morgan and Candace.
The reason I told the
Okay, all right, hold up here. Let me jump over here. Oh, I think it's this. Yeah, hold up.
I'm trying to get it going there. Oh, there you go.
The reason I told the Alex Jones story is he did incredibly well out of Sandy Hook with his investigations. But as was established in the court case against him brought by the families eventually, and I think we're going to see the same thing with Brigitte Macron and is that he was weaponizing deliberate lies for money. And I think you
Brigitte Macron has a penis. I really want you to know that.
Brigitte Macron does not have a penis.
Brigitte Macron has a penis.
No, she doesn't.
I'm sorry.
She had 3 children.
Did she get it removed?
She had 3 children.
Yeah, you can have adoptive children. You can call somebody, but Brigitte Macron was born a dude named Jean-Michel Trogneau. Well, and I just feel, I want you to know that. I want you to know that Brigitte Macron probably stands peeing up. Probably pees standing up is what I want you to know.
The beauty is we have a big bet.
I think Brigitte
we have a big bet, and we're going to find out because it's going to court. And, you know, you will lose that court case. I think you will.
I don't think, you know why? I don't think she'll lose. If she's right. If she's right, they're not going to go to discovery, so they'll settle out of court. If it goes to court, then maybe she's wrong because they don't want discovery. So if it doesn't go to court, then we know that she probably does have something down there because they don't want to have discovery, right? Because you can figure out very easily through a DNA test and stuff like that if you're a man or a woman, right? So they don't want discovery.
Chromosomes don't lie.
Chromosomes don't lie, right? So if it settles out of court, or if it goes to nowhere, or if the lawsuit is not directly related to this and it's something that looks like it's related, but it's not, and then the media twists it to make it look like it is, That's another thing too.
You know,
But yeah, so I just think it's kind of bizarre, all these things going on. I feel like there's some weird stuff going on all the time.
here,
Like I
let me.
feel like
I'm
there's
so
someone trying to do something, like
yeah.
trying to make something.
I'm only halfway through this list, man. This is a healthy
Oh yeah, go
list.
ahead. Yeah.
So Macron's in assassination plots. Let's see your gender identity. Through her podcast series, Becoming Brigitte, Owens claims Brigitte Macron was born a man named Jean Michel Trogneau and stole another person's identity. Incest claims she has alleged that the French president and first lady are actually blood relatives. Plot to kill Owens in November 2025. Owens claimed a French whistleblower told her the Macrons paid 1.5 million for an elite GIGN unit to assassinate her. MK Ultra, she has suggested Emmanuel Macron was selected as president through a CIA mind control program. Other recent conspiracy theories, scientific and historical claims. Owens has dismissed the moon landing and the existence of dinosaurs as fake and gay.
Really?
Um,
You said dinosaurs are fake?
Fake and gay. Anti-Semitic.
Oh yeah, fake and gay. Okay, it is fake and gay.
That's
I
right.
forgot the gay part. Okay, yeah, sorry about that.
That's what they. Anti-Semitic revisionism. She has claimed Jews invented concentration camps, not the Nazis, and promoted blood libel, the false charge that Jews
Wait,
use
what?
Christian children blood in rituals.
What'd she say about concentration camps? What?
I don't think that this is true. By the
Oh,
way,
okay. You don't think it's
this
true?
particular thing that is attributed to her, I've never heard her say anything even remotely like this.
Yeah, it sounds like
I
it's
don't think
kind
she's
of.
a Holocaust denier. I don't think that she claims, any of this. I don't think this is true.
I'm
But
seeing some
but
weird
like,
stuff here. I'm seeing some weird stuff here, man.
yeah,
I'm
but
telling
the
you.
thing is and we know that AI is propagandized just like everything else. It's not like it's an objective thing. It's just
Oh,
sourcing
bro.
information from the internet,
Oh, yeah.
and whoever its programmers are, if they are left leaning, it's going to be left leaning. If
I've
they're
seen Grok literally contradict itself minutes apart multiple times. Yes, no, yes, no. I've literally seen it do that.
yeah,
I've asked it a question, and it'll say, "Oh no, that's not real." "Oh yeah, it is real." "Oh no, it's not real." "Oh, you corrected me. I'm wrong." Like it's just like making stuff up.
yeah.
And I've seen that happen on Grok a lot. I've seen it happen a little bit on Google's. I've seen it like say the president was Biden when it was Trump and stuff. Like it's just said dumb stuff here and there. Like I've seen it do a lot of weird stuff where it just doesn't know what the hell it's talking about. Usually it gets stuff right, but not always.
But let me read this, and I just have a couple more
Okay.
sentences here. So, anti-Semitic revisionism. She claimed that Jews invented concentration camps, not the Nazis, and promoted blood libel, the false charge that Jews used Christian children's blood
Okay.
in
Okay.
rituals.
Okay.
See, and it's like, yeah, I've never heard her say anything even remotely similar to that. Tech and
This is like
transhumanism.
deja vu to me. It's like deja vu because I lived through the entire thing that happened before while most channels got canceled
Mm-hmm.
back in the old days, 2017. I was here in 2010 talking on YouTube. And I went through and I was in the groups. We were all talking about what's going on in the world. We were saying, oh, we don't believe this, we believe that. Theories, right?
Right.
And I saw all these channels around me get canceled. And I barely made it through the whole thing. And I feel like this is the exact same thing again. Like I just get this feeling like they're going to come out with some art. I've already seen it, by the way. I saw an article coming out. Oh, Candace Owen and her dangerous conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
And if they start, but the thing is, I don't think they're going to get the traction to pull it off this time. It's kind of like trying to pull off COVID twice. It's like you ain't going to do it, bro, unless you got some really nasty stuff you pull out the second time around. I don't think they're going to be able to pull it off. I don't think they're like, oh, look at this dangerous conspiracy theory, like, and then they try to cancel everybody because there's dangerous conspiracy theories. While at the same time, during 2020, all the official media was telling lies all the time, left and right, and everybody caught them. And they were the ones spreading conspiracy theories. Well, but they were called scientific facts, and then later they were disproven not to be scientific facts.
Yeah.
So that's my whole point. My whole point is they want to label an entire genre of thought as bad and get it canceled and out of here, is what I'm trying to say.
So there's like in the sort of propaganda topic, there's misinformation and disinformation, right? So misinformation is like,
fucking stupid.
Okay, well, they don't know that it's not true, but they're pressing it, and it serves a particular agenda. They like that agenda that it serves. If they know it's true or not, if they're being fast and loose with it or not, it still serves their agenda, so it's fine. Then there's disinformation. So disinformation is like, they know that this is wrong. They know the stuff that they're telling you is wrong, but they do it because, hey, they need you to believe something, and it's better for you to believe this wrong thing than to like go looking for the actual, information.
I feel like it's an informational war.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
they're playing chess, and they're pretending like they're not doing anything. They're like, oh, we're not doing anything. We just want the truth out there. We just care about people. No, you don't give a shit about anybody, dude. You just want whatever your agenda is. That's basically what it is. You literally don't care.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. My whole concern is they're trying to repeat what they did in 2017. That's what I think they're trying to do. I don't think they'll succeed. They can try. I don't think it'll succeed. You can prop up whoever you want, and then put out your little articles. Oh, look. Oh, no. Dangerous conspiracy theories. Shut up, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we already went through it. We already lived through it. You're not going to pull it off again.
Here's the last two things, and this is interesting. So the tech and transhumanism, Owens has called Elon Musk, Sam Altman, and Peter Thiel.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
And suggested there is something demonic behind their scientific pursuits. And then
I don't agree with that. I feel like there is a lot of weird stuff there. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg looks like a robot. Sam Altman is very, very weird. His good friend, who is trying to get him to do the right ethical thing about not stealing AI code from another company, mysteriously dies while he's ordering pizza. He somehow decided to just off himself while he's ordering pizza, And then, of course, the guy
first. Eat the pizza first before you.
It's just weird, man.
When Weinstein, the Weinstein case. She has publicly argued that Harvey Weinstein was wrongfully convicted of rape. Now, this is actually interesting, and this is actually why she's saying this. Weinstein actually had some sort of illness when he was younger, and had to have his man parts taken off.
Really?
Yeah. And so in court, when the woman was describing what his junk looked like, I'm sorry, what his junk looked like, she did not say anything about the fact that his junk is way different looking than usual because he doesn't have man parts, the baby batter makers.
Okay, so that proved that she was lying, or what?
Yeah. So Candace is saying that if she saw it up close, how could you not know when she described it as being normal? How could you not know that if this dude is,
I find it interesting, man. Like, look, see, look at the
look, and what just I don't know if the dude did it or not. And I'm certainly not in the business of blaming victims or if somebody went through some trauma or something and this guy caused it, and we know that this dude was doing some kind of dirty pool, but we don't know if it was that. So anyhow,
I find it interesting, man. Like we're talking about, every time I've talked about Candace, it's like you can't really go anywhere on YouTube. It's really weird. Like look at a live stream right now. It's like 20 people watching, dude. We usually have
right.
like 100 or 80 or something like that at least on your channel. I find that really, really suspect. We've talked about a lot of topics and we could talk and get lots of views, or in the end, we usually get a lot of views. We would usually get at least 80 or 100 people watching on your channel. Your channel's
Yeah,
smaller, obviously. I find this very enlightening to me because I put up videos on Candace and I got less views too. Why? Why is that the case? There's something weird going on with all that, dude.
Yeah, but then
All they're doing is just revealing themselves more when they do that to me.
and what's crazy, what's crazy is
They can keep doing it and thinking they're being smart, but they're not being smart because I can see right through it. I see all the tricks they do here on this website.
Yeah, but what's crazy to me is they must know some stuff or have some four-dimensional stuff that it's not linear or something, because
oh, of course
you
it is.
give her tons because she's getting ridiculous views.
So look, let me just explain.
Ridiculous views right
no,
now.
let me explain, man. So back 2 to 3 years ago, she was getting basically the same views I was getting. Now she's got almost 100 million views in October. The most I ever got was 20 million views in, I think it was 2017, in 1 month. So like, to me, it's like super obvious that they're allowing her to be promoted. Very obvious, but I think they have ulterior motives when they do it.
Yeah.
They're trying to cancel. I think they're trying to cancel people again.
Sure. I mean,
I really
you said
do.
that. I don't put anything past these folks, but I'm going to say this.
We got the proof right there, man. 26 watchers.
On her channel. So she had a YouTube channel before she got kicked out of Daily Wire. So she had Candace Owens as her YouTube channel before, but she wasn't really doing much with it. I think some stuff was getting posted there, but that's not really where people went to see her. They went to Daily Wire to see her.
Right.
But then what happened is when she got kicked out, then they doubled down on the content on Candace Owens' YouTube channel. And then, of course, that was the place that you had to go to see her. So I do think that accounts for a lot of the explosion in views, a lot more views.
Oh, there's a lot more going on than that.
But well, and I'm not saying that they're I'm not suggesting that what you're saying is not the case. I'm just saying that I think some of it is organic, but then
there's some organic for sure, but it's not the way. I'm telling you, if she was organic and they were suppressing her like they did to Russell Brand recently, she wouldn't get like probably an eighth of the views, because they know how to do that. You could have 3 million subs and only get 10,000 views or 5. I've seen channels with 3 million subs get 500 views. I remember one channel. I'm trying to remember the name of it off the top of my head. London Real. That guy, 100 views on a video, 3 million subs. So I'm telling you, they know how to do that. Dude, they can make it to
that is just ridiculous. Like,
no,
how is that even possible?
No, I've seen, like, you got channel like Mr. What's his name? God, why can't I think of his name right now? He's the one that just won the video game award. Moist Critical. Moist Critical gets insane views. They're clearly promoting him. It's super obvious. I've seen channels like, okay, so like back in 2017, the weirdest thing ever was one day you're watching YouTube and it's like you got all these conspiracy videos popping up everywhere. Like, you remember the whole flat, Earth thing? Remember that? They were getting insane views like in 2015 and stuff. The very next day, no views, can't get any views. And then you got all these weird guys that are anti, flat, of course, Earth, all of a sudden getting bazillions of views on every video. It was so obviously that they modified everything. in the AI and the algorithm. It was just super obvious, like so obvious. And you'd have to be a retard not to see it. A little retard. And so I've seen this stuff many, many times. Like the guy Steve Turley, he's a political commentator here on YouTube. There was a time back in like 2022 where he couldn't even get like 10, 20,000 views on a video. Now he's getting 500,000 views on a video. I remember this guy. He's a black commentator, not Tatum, Anthony Brian Logan. I remember him. He was getting like 10, 20,000 views a video. And all of a sudden, right out that whole time when the flat, Earth thing happened, when it got canceled, all of a sudden he went from 10 to like 300,000 on every video. Yeah. Overnight. I'm telling you, they can literally flip a switch. You go from 1,000 views to 20,000 views tomorrow. Your channel, they can flip a switch right now and you'll get 20,000 views a video. I'm telling you, they got the ability to do that. So they can do it in an instant. They can change your channel in an instant. At any rate, go ahead, man.
All right, let's go ahead and play this. And we know that Crowder does not like Candace. And Candace does.
By the way, I recorded all this stuff. I got pictures and everything from a decade of YouTube doing all this stuff. So I got all the evidence. I could show it if I needed to. Sure. Go ahead.
Utah. She does have a point, though. Not only that, of course, I've been paid to call her the C word, but a point with the boulevards.
What is with them giving people a holiday after they kill them? Why is that a thing? You know what I mean? They're like, oh, Martin Luther King, what about this holiday? What about this boulevard? Anyways, let me knock off. Like, they're going to give Charlie Kirk a boulevard. They already did. They did in Israel. They gave a freaking boulevard. It's like, as soon as they give you a boulevard and a holiday, they definitely killed you.
She's too close to the target. She has a point when the government does a hit job and it's on the inside.
I knew something was fishy.
Look, here's the thing. I was extended an invitation to World War debate. It's an event in January. I accepted. As I understand it, Candace Owens declined $30,000. By the way, she can have mine. Make it $60,000 if she wants to do it. I'd be happy to sit down and have a conversation and debate where it's moderated. And if you want to open your books, we'll open our books too to see who's paid by what. Beyond that, we're not going to do the back and forth on social media. The invitation, Mrs. Owens, is always open. Yeah.
Steven?
Just a bit.
Oh, jeez.
My office right now.
What? I swear, Sam, I'm in the middle of a show. Sam, I'm in the middle of a show.
Steven, I know the demands on your time are considerable, but I had to call you in here for a very serious disciplinary infraction. On the show a little bit ago, you called Candace Owens a
No, that was actually an either-or equation.
Be that as it may, this Meshuggah infraction is very serious, and I'm going to have to discipline you by reading you the Riot Act. Please read this manual here.
What is it, money?
It's money. All right, that's that video. That's funny.
Actually, I respect Steven Crowder. I think he's a good guy, pretty good guy.
He's actually going. This is interesting. Apparently, Steven Crowder is going Orthodox.
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff that's happening here. Let's check this out. This is Tucker
because of Andrew Wilson's influence on him. Yeah.
Yep.
Recently, Candace said that Egyptian registered aircraft were following Erica Kirk, Charlie's widow, around for a number of years in different places in the world. That's one of the weirdest things I've ever heard, and I just want to say that is factually true. That's true. So that's like the one data point that I happen to know is true. What does that mean? I have literally no idea. I can't even guess, but that's very, very strange.
And what is Egyptian? It could mean aircraft from Egypt. Who knows?
I think that they were registered in Egypt.
Got it.
And but that fact is true. So enough. And it also her claim that, there were kind of a disproportionately large number of foreign registered cell phones at the event. That's also true. So what does that add up to? I don't know, but it means that you know, the FBI has a moral and legal obligation to look in every direction and to be open-minded as you would in any investigation, in journalism, in science. It's all the same process. I don't know the answer, and I'm going to sift through everything as open-mindedly as I can, as honestly as I can, to get to what the truth is. That's, again, that's science, that's law enforcement, that's journalism. It's all the same. That's justice. And I just want to make sure that is happening, and I just don't have a ton of confidence in the FBI or the men who run it. And I'm not saying that out of ignorance at all.
That's a scary part too.
I'm not alleging anything. I'm just saying I think it's really important that we have that.
Okay, so that's you know, so it's not just her, you know, thinking certain things or saying certain things or whatever. Let's see here. I'm trying to get this to close down.
I just find it amazing, man, because like we've done a bunch. How many live streams have we done? Probably at least 30, right?
Yeah, probably maybe something like that.
This is the lowest views we've ever had, ever, on a live stream. I find that amazing, man. Yeah, it is. And this is on a topic that supposedly is the biggest one out there. The biggest topic, and we get a third the views or a quarter of the views we usually get.
Yeah.
And every time I've made a video about Candace recently, it got half the views that I usually get. I find that very, very interesting. Very interesting. It kind of makes me think someone's not letting anyone talk about it except for when they want someone to talk about it. Like Jimmy Dore, who's a leftist. He gets to talk about it all day long. It's okay with him. For him to talk about it's fine. No one in the background trying to manipulate anything at this website. Not at all. Zero. Of course not. Yeah, give me a break, dude.
All right, let's see what this is about.
So this is supposedly a website.
Hater, watcher, don't.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This website's supposed to be a neutral platform. Kind of wonder when that's ever going to happen.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
All right, let's check this out.
Lover, hater, watcher, don't watch her. She is a controversial person who has the #1 podcast right now. So I do have to report on her. And what she's saying now is that December 19th, there's going to be a 9/11 type attack on us. Now, this has also been said, like this date has also been flowing around in like the psychic side of TikTok. I don't know if you guys are on there. I dabble sometimes. To me, why wouldn't they just change the date now that we're all saying this? I don't know if I believe it, but it's out there. What do y'all think?
Okay, and and we're Eastern Standard Time, folks that are watching, and it actually is just after midnight, so it is December 19th right now. Here, check this out. This is Andrew Wilson. He doesn't have anything in particular against Candace, but he doesn't like that she's asking questions without any evidence. So check him out.
You think that this guy got up on a building, and I think he did murder Charlie Kirk. And I think he did kind of in the middle of day, kind of almost nonchalantly jump off a roof and walk away. I do think that happened. And you know what? The truth is often stranger than fiction. And the fact that one of these lunatics would do that after having dealt with them for years and years doesn't surprise me a bit.
So you're buying the mainstream narrative on it for the most part?
I mean, and there was people who were there on the right and on the left. Where are they? They're not running around saying, hey, I have some questions. There's two people who are really pushing no, it was an inside job, and it's Ian Carroll and Candace Owens, and they have no evidence. They have no good evidence for this at all. They've never presented a single shred of compelling evidence, and we don't know exactly what happened yet because there's an ongoing investigation. And yeah, I got to be real careful with that kind of thing. You destroy your credibility pretty quickly if you get it wrong, and you don't need to rush to get it right.
No, so what was interesting is with the Charlie Kirk, I had to be very careful how I did my videos as well. Like I have to tiptoe around all these random things that I see that YouTube does. But other channels don't have to do that. Some channels, they can do whatever they want. They can say anything they want, whatever they want, get tons of views. They get whitelisted, whatever you want to call it. And I think sometimes YouTube's doing that to manipulate information. That's my guess. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But maybe they could explain why they do that. Why do they prop up certain channels more than others? Right? That's a good question. They never have come out and told us, have they? They never come out and told us. I did see some patterns though. Like if you have let's say you're a meteorologist and you have a channel about meteorology, they'll promote you above everybody else. And that makes sense. That actually makes logical sense. Like if I'm a certain scientist and I'm talking about a scientific topic that I'm acquainted with, it makes more sense that you get more views. If you're a doctor and you're talking about cures or medicine, then it would make more sense that you would get more views because you're a doctor, right? That all makes sense. But I think there's a lot more going on than that. Let's just put it that way.
All right, let's check this out.
What I can tell you is we also received a tip from somebody within Turning Point USA that the night before he died, I know for a fact he messaged a donor and he messaged somebody at Turning Point USA. But I did not know, and this is what was told to me, that he also messaged Dan Flood, the security that's to his right, and allegedly explicitly said that they are going to kill me tomorrow. So again, that many people know that Charlie sensed that he was going to die tomorrow is an absolute fact. Why these individuals are all being quiet about that is a massive question mark, okay? And what we can say for certain is, of course, people will betray one another if money is on the line, right? And it could be for 30 pieces of silver, or it could be for billions. But things get complicated when there's a lot of money on the line. I honestly am wondering how it would actually work if you were trafficking weapons and you're trafficking drugs and you're doing this, which obviously our CIA has been engaged in trafficking. I mean, you could almost argue that that's what they were put together to do, the deep state. How does that work? Like,
Yeah, well, she is. And here's we were speaking of, you're talking about
Jimmy
this
Dore.
guy.
Yeah, Jimmy Dore.
He gets to talk about it.
Let me explain something about this guy. So he's a leftist, right? So, okay, for instance, let me show you how they moved the goalposts. This is what Tim Pool said. He even admitted to this. Tim Pool admitted to this like 5-10 years ago. I remember listening to him talking about it. They like to move the goalposts. So they want to move the right more towards the left. So what they do is instead of promoting someone on the right, they'll promote someone on the left as a right. So they'll put Tim Pool as a conservative when he wasn't. They'll put Jimmy Dore as a conservative when he isn't. And they purposely do this so that the conservatives are influenced by a leftist. That's how they do it.
Sure.
And they just keep moving the goalposts.
All right, let's see what this is about.
Okay, I'll say things that I probably shouldn't say, but I'm going to say, 'cause I always get super heated on this. Candace Owens has the same security team as Turning Point and Charlie Kirk did.
Wait a minute. If she had the same security team as Charlie Kirk, then wouldn't she be dead? What if she has the same security team as Charlie Kirk? Why is she still alive? See, that's how I know it's not true. Because she hasn't been publicly murdered after publicly correctly calling genocide a genocide, which is a genocide.
Yeah, like Charlie did. And let's never forget Charlie Kirk said Gaza is a genocide, which I love sticking in the faces of dumb shit Ziocons.
Well, I agree that
so that would
died.
That's just my opinion on that. If she did,
say it again.
I heard 80% were civilians or something like that. Some insane number. It's crazy.
Yeah, and that's and I don't know. I mean, it just seems unreasonable to me for people to expect you to swallow that and act like that's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Nothing here to say.
Yeah, no kidding. So I mean,
just blindly follow.
Yep. 100%, man.
All right, let's keep going.
She'd be dead already, but here we go.
She's lying. She has the same security people. I've been digging into this. I've been meeting with people and talking with them. And I shouldn't say too much because there's more that's going to be coming out soon. Because rest assured, people are filing legal paperwork against her. Candace has the same security team, or has used the same security companies and the same security personnel as Charlie and Erica did. So when she comes out and is questioning them, she is lying outright. Now, I've invited many of these people to come on. We'll see what happens. We'll see when they can. The issue is, the moment Candace goes on her show to millions of people and lies, litigation begins. And what happens when litigation begins? People don't do interviews about it. She is exploiting this, and she knows she is, to keep people wrapped up in this insanity.
Tim versus Tim, undefeated. And what I will also say is that's all a lie. It's almost like they have just sent a call, like they're getting too close, and just said, I don't care what you write. I don't care if it's complete fiction. Make it believable. Say her husband beats her. Say her, like it's coming after my husband. They're coming after me, and they're making stuff up. I have never employed the same security team as Charlie Kirk, ever. We went our separate ways early. Actually, there was it's obviously been publicized before he had Schaefer Security, and Schaefer Security, which was run by Greg Schaefer, who has issued a public statement. They had Dan Flood and Brian Harpool working for them initially. I told Charlie I did not like the security apparatus. I got my own security separate from Charlie from the very beginning. Okay. That's a fact. It just is a fact. There's no way to undo that fact. Trying to do this strategy of you're going to get sued is just threatening somebody. If there was any truth to that, you can't just file legal paperwork. You have to send a cease and desist. You have to say, something you said on your show was untrue. Can you please correct this? Okay. And if I ignore that, as I did with Brigitte, because I told the truth, as I did with Kim Clasey, because I told the truth, then you have the grounds to file something. We have received no cease and desist from Charlie's Security whatsoever. Over what? I mean, the audacity that you're filing a lawsuit and someone got murdered on your watch. Because I accurately said that the Brian Harpool, the message he showed belonged to Dan Flood. It did. And that they didn't do a walkthrough on that day. They didn't. Like, and if something I'm getting wrong and you'd like to show me that actually you did, send it over. We're only interested in getting the truth, and we're not getting it. We're certainly not expecting to get it from Tim Pool. That is crazy. That's just crazy town. But I do think that is right now the Zionist strategy. And that's why I want to encourage you guys to stay focused. Huachuca, which we're going to have a lot on tomorrow, because there is something there. And I think that caused a panic, as well as the Egyptian plains, which I am telling you go back, relate to Israel. And I will be able to prove that tomorrow for all of the naysayers. And again, it's only because this is how they act. If they always overreact, and then it lets us know that we are close. They are like an alarm. They are just an alarm. Something else that I wanted to show you, by the way.
So Tim Pool, one thing that's really interesting is that he said that she had no security and just some fat guy in like a fence or something at her house. Then later he says that she's employing the same security as Charlie Kirk used. So like it's one or the other or neither one. Like he literally contradicted himself like a few days apart. I thought that was interesting. Why would Tim Pool say she had no security and then later say she had the same security as Charlie Kirk did? That's weird.
Yep. All right. Let's see what we got here. So this is somebody claiming that she's losing it.
It's not hard to assess that Candace has lost her mind. I'm just going to go through a list. Candace claimed that there was a underground network at Utah Valley University, and maybe Charlie was shot by someone who came out of a trap door.
Now, I'm not implying someone, popped up and shot Charlie, but that's a close-up of that area.
Egyptian planes.
The Egyptian planes were tracking Erica and Charlie. What was the Egyptian military plane, which left Provo on the morning of Charlie's assassination, doing in Delaware?
And then we had the fact that Charlie allegedly told his security that he would die the next day.
The night before he died, I know for a fact he messaged a donor, allegedly explicitly said that they are going to kill me tomorrow.
Maybe the French Legion.
What were you
Erica
saying?
Kirk, that's true. What she said, that he did message people that he thought they were going to kill him. And Erica Kirk at first denied it, but then later confirmed it was true. So that is true. That is 100% true.
57P man, chill out with the language or you get blocked.
What language is that? Whose language?
No, 57 P man. Somebody in the
Oh, okay, never mind. Go ahead.
All right, let's keep going.
Was involved in killing Charlie.
The French legionnaires might have been on the ground during Charlie Kirk's assassination. Do you mind answering yes or no if anybody who trained with the French Foreign Legion was on the ground on September 10th at Utah Valley University?
This communist B cult that was proliferating at UVU.
There is some weird underground, it's like I sense like imminent danger is coming. And for some reason, I feel like there is an underground that has emerged at schools and it's like related to bees.
Candace noticed that there was a lot of people wearing maroon at the event. She accused a random man in a hoodie of looking suspicious because he was wearing a hoodie when the weather was warm that day. Candace and Tucker are advancing absurd lies. They're undermining people that are doing real work to try to go investigate what happened.
Oh, come on, dude. So, look, okay, so there's a bunch of stuff I would say here. For one, when she met with Erica Kirk's lawyer was there, and apparently they didn't have any more intel than we have, which is really ridiculous if you think about it. They should, I mean, for the court case, right? Then, I was going to say something. I can't remember what the hell I was going to say. I was going to say something important. But the whole thing is like, obviously there's the main story that's been told to us is not true. I really don't believe any of that stuff. And man, I can't remember what the other thing was. I was going to say something important too. It's like I waited too long to say it.
That's all right. You'll think if you think of it, just pause. But
Okay.
here's Megyn Kelly talking about this stuff.
To be honest, I wish Candace wouldn't be pursuing the Turning Point narrative at all. Never mind Erica. Though again, she hasn't graduated to blaming Erica for Charlie's murder. She's criticizing her and the media tour, and that is fair game. That piece of it is fair game. So in any event, Candace knows I disagree with her on this. Petty internet people want to turn that into a cat fight between Candace and yours truly, which will fail. She and I actually have only gotten closer over the past couple of months as people try to make me attack her. So fuck off, okay? I have no obligation to you to hate the people you hate or try to bring down the people you want brought down. I'm sorry, but if that's what you want from me, you do need to move on. It's not going to happen. And I've learned a lot behind the scenes from Candace about some of the things she's been put through from people I used to respect. I also, though, adore and love Erica, and I want this to stop. I do, of course. None of this is a mystery to Erica or to Candace. And a couple of weeks ago, Erica called me, and it's relevant to the meeting they just had. Okay, so I'm going to get into this. Those two had a sit-down meeting yesterday for 4.5 hours. Erica and Candace, alone. Well, I think they had 2 other people with them, but those were the 2 principals. And they met face-to-face in Nashville yesterday. No recording devices, nothing, just the 2 of them. And again, each had a supporter. Someone from their own respective teams. I'll let them disclose the specifics of that. But they made a lot of progress, according to them.
So I think with regards to the progress thing, I think I talked about it in a previous video that they were like basically they were very far apart at first, right? And then I think a lot of it came down to the fact that Erica Kirk was new to the whole thing of running TPUSA, and she was taking the advice from her lawyers, and her lawyers were telling her, don't come out and say anything. So she waited too long to come out. And Candace, of course, was looking into all this stuff at the same time. And so Candace starts wondering, why is Erica not coming out and saying anything? All right. Like, why is she waiting so long? I think it's because Erica doesn't know what she's doing. And she's running an organization that her father, or her husband, not her father, her husband used to run. And she just doesn't know what she's doing. So I think once they met together and actually talked through things, I think they actually went from here to like here. They still don't agree with each other, but they understand each other better. And I think that's what really happened here.
No. All right, let's see what this is about.
This is just your friendly reminder that figures such as, I don't know, Candace Owens are not good people just because they sometimes have common sense takes. It does not make them good people. Okay? Candace Owens turning on Trump after a decade it's nothing admirable at all. Candace Owens caring about what's happening in Gaza is a common sense take. She does not need to be praised for having basic decency and humanity. And please remember, as she tries to get you on the pipeline by talking about celebrity drama or things that the younger generation cares about very deeply, don't forget how she talks about gay people. Let's not forget how she, a black woman, talks about DEI. Let's not forget what Candace Owens said about Black Lives Matter. Let's not forget in 20.
Okay,
Those are all good, man. What are you talking about? I actually agree with her on all those things. What the hell, man?
Well, I'll tell you, the DEI thing, I don't agree with her on. The reason I don't agree with her on it is because the primary beneficiaries of DEI have been white women.
Exactly. Well, that's another reason not to like it, right there.
And it's been a rouge. It's been a way to. So basically, what you do is you claim that you're trying to serve an underrepresented population, but then what you're actually doing is you're funneling the money back to the people that already have the money. That's what they did with that.
I feel like we're never going to get anywhere with solutions of anything as long as we have the people that are currently running stuff there. You have a lot of people running stuff in this world that are not doing it fairly, or they're not making an even playing field. They're not letting. There's like all this weird stuff in the background, people trying to play games, trying to manipulate everything. You got Bill Gates, you got all these weird people doing stuff, you know what I mean? In the background, pretending like they're trying to help people. I'm trying to help people. Bill Gates, he's in Africa trying to take over farms there and make his weird crops that are probably genetically modified or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got all these people pretending like they're trying to help people and help the world, but they're not. If we could just get normal people that actually want to help, actually want to do the right thing, and put them in all the right positions in our world, and get rid of all these corrupt people, I think things would start fixing very quickly. I think that's the main issue.
Yeah.
Until that happens, you're just going to have all these weird games, and this world's never going to get better.
All right, let's keep going.
21, she threw out the idea that the United States should invade Australia. Let's not forget, she is friends with Charlie Kirk. And let us not forget that her rhetoric helped inspire a boy to go into his school with a weapon and pew people. He even put her in.
Yeah, see,
she's talking about. Sorry. She said Charlie Kirk's a bad guy.
Here's the thing. I understand people that take that position on Kirk.
Here, check this out. Play this, man. This is good stuff right here too. Check this out. I got another clip here. This has to do with this is like a lady maybe of the same mindset. This is a elderly lady working at Target, has a Charlie Kirk shirt on, and a crazy Karen attacks her, basically.
All right, let's see what this is about.
Why?
They let you.
1 second here. All right, let's head on over here.
My whole concern is that this I feel like the world's so manipulated in every way. Like everyone's being manipulated by some weird stuff all the time.
Yeah. Here, let's check this out.
Why?
They let you wear that shirt here?
Yes. Why?
So,
why are you taking my picture?
Why are you wearing that shirt? You're working.
It's not a red shirt. I can wear any red shirt.
It's not a plain shirt.
It doesn't have to be
It's a Charlie Kirk shirt.
Yes. Yes, I know.
Are you fucking stupid?
No.
Why the fuck would you wear that? You're at work at Target. That's not a Target shirt. It's not a plain red shirt. You support a racist.
It's not racist.
You support a racist.
He's not a racist.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Yes, he fucking is.
I'm sorry, but I'm not going to stand here and argue with you.
You're not. You should go get your manager. You should not be allowed to wear that at work. Unacceptable. Unfucking acceptable.
That's your opinion.
No, the opinion is he's a fucking racist and you support him.
That's your opinion now.
And you should not be allowed to wear that. This is going to be taken above your fucking head. That's insane.
Wow.
Insane.
Trying to get her fired. Trying to get her fired for supporting Charlie Kirk.
Insane.
So, how much do you want to bet that's a white chick? How much you want to bet that's a white chick, dude?
Oh yeah. What?
Oh yeah, it's a white chick. It's guaranteed a white chick. They're upset on racism on behalf of black people. All the white chicks, particularly of the left, certain ones.
Yeah, but I don't even think it's really on behalf of black people.
I think that's what they're doing though. They're like acting like they're being offended for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you one of the most offensive things to me would be if some random person tried to come up to me to try to apologize for her ancestors and this dominant society beating me down and all that. Man, if you better get out of my face with that garbage.
Really? I've never done that, obviously, but I just think that's funny, dude. Like,
no,
I've
because
seen
it's so pretentious. It's so pretentious.
You mean like when Nancy
Pelosi
bend the knee there?
Look, man, it is so condescending, and it doesn't.
It's for a video clip. It's for a video clip so you can throw it up on X, or something.
But look, it's so condescending. And it doesn't even, it's not even taking responsibility for their own part. So, I'm going to apologize. I'm apologizing on behalf of white people like this. Why don't you apologize for the stuff that you've done?
Oh, I remember this clip. I saw this one clip where a white dude, he's like a rich CEO, white dude of a company, and he goes and bends his knee and like kneels down to a black guy. Was it Lecrae? I can't remember who it was. And he goes, "I'm sorry for all the bad things white people have done to you." And then, no, it wasn't Lecrae. It was some other black dude. He's like, "Hey, can you just give me your iPhone?" And the guy's like, "No, he didn't ask for an iPhone. He said, 'Can I have something?' Because he was giving out stuff too. I can't remember what it was, but he's like, 'Hey, can I have that?' No, you can't have that." So like it didn't go exactly like that, but it was basically like the guy was like bending the knee saying, "Hey, I'm sorry, all this stuff." And the guy was like, "Hey, can I have this?" And the guy didn't want to give him it. That's what it was. It was a product from his company because he owned a company. He owned a big company, and he wouldn't give him any product, but he wanted to bend the knee and say, "I'm sorry," on camera so he can make himself look good.
Yeah. Well, my issue wouldn't be if somebody apologized for something that they have done. So like if somebody comes to me and say, "Hey man, a couple years ago, like I was like saying a lot of like mean stuff about you behind your back, and it was racially motivated, and I was blah blah blah, and I was trying to keep you from certain opportunities and like this." No. They'll never do that. They'll never do that. What they do is they try to scapegoat some like figment of your imagination, so that it can seem like they're morally upright, while they have all these skeletons in their closet, likely of them doing stuff personally offensive, stuff that's actually wrong to other people. But they
so you're saying they're apologizing for their ancestors, but they're not apologizing for their own act.
That's what I'm saying, and that's the part. That's the part that I'm telling you. That's the part that I care about. If you're coming to me, you need to be apologizing for stuff that you did. Don't give me no crap about I'm sorry for what my ancestors did. Get the crap out of here with that garbage. You can't. I mean, first of all,
you can't apologize for them anyways.
Right. You can't do anything. Look, the best thing that you can do is you can rectify things that you believe are wrong. You can do right. That's the best thing that you can do, is do right.
I can't remember what the guy was asking. So like I said, it was like this white CEO dude. I can't remember what company. It was like some years ago, so I can't remember the exact story. But he got down on a knee, apologized to some black guy on a TV show. And the black guy, I can't remember what he said. He asked for something like, "Hey, can I get a job?" Or I don't remember what it was. Maybe it was a job. I can't remember what it was, but the guy didn't give it to him, of course.
Of course.
It was something, yeah.
Look.
It might
man.
have been a job. I can't remember what it was though. But
See, what I want to see, what I want to start hearing is with these folks is I want to start hearing them, admit to something that they actually did. So stuff like this, I was the manager at a bank, and there were two candidates, and there was a black candidate and a white candidate, and the black candidate was actually a better candidate for the job, but I was biased against the black guy, and I went with the white guy. That's the stuff that I want to hear you admit. That's the stuff that I want to hear you admit. And if you're not willing to admit that stuff, then don't apologize at all. Just stay out of my way.
I see what you're saying. I mean, it makes sense, kind of. I understand that.
So that's my frustration. But anyhow, let's see what the rest of this person is saying here.
Name in his manifesto. I need you guys to have nuance in this time where we are going to see a lot of.
Okay, and this is one of the favorite things that I talk nuance. I talk about nuance because nuance is important. But a bunch of folks use this as a tactic so that they can just say a bunch of hogwash. They can just make stuff up and claim that there's some other something, there's some other possibility or something like this. Look, she's just wrong. It doesn't matter if you have nuance or not if you're wrong. But let's keep going.
Conservative figures trying to break with Donald Trump for their own brand and their own image. Not because they necessarily disagree with anything he's doing, but it's largely widely unpopular.
Well, I'm telling you, this what's goofy about what she's doing, what she's saying here is, this woman hates Trump. She hates Trump with passion. You know that.
Yeah, most likely.
So why would you have an issue with somebody that is broken with Trump, has substantive reasons for why they did so, and is highlighting why they did so, and the stuff is not particularly flattering for Trump? Why would you have an issue with that? Like, that seems to me like maybe you don't like a lot of the other stuff that they say, but at least you'd align with them on that, right? I mean, that just, at least that would make sense. But no, it's some kind of way in her head, that doesn't occur to her.
Candace Owens, Nick Fuentes, Charlie Kirk, any of these people who you see making common sense takes, it doesn't mean anything. Congratulations, you have a brain. I need you all to demand more than the bare minimum from people like that who have made money grifting off of minorities and
Okay, so this is also a favorite thing that these folks like to do. They like to talk about grifters. Oh, grifting. No. You don't know what a grifter is. You don't know what grifting means. If you are using it in this context, you don't know what it means. Stop using the word if you don't know what it means.
minorities issues and the LGBTQ community and just all of these things. These are grifters who are trying to get you down their profitable pipeline.
No, that's not what a grifter is. Here, let me define it.
Small scale swindling.
Yeah, right. The way that people online use that term almost all the time is total hogwash. Shows that they don't know what it means.
Well, the original definition, they obviously changed it in their minds to be something new. Yeah.
Just use a different word. Man,
yeah,
I'm just.
I know what you mean. It's like you're making money off content, and then they want to make it look like you're just doing it for the money only, and not because you care.
Yeah, but the thing is, what if you were only doing it for the money? That's still not a grifter, because it's not it's not a swindle. It's not
it's not stealing technically, right?
Right. What if you're listen? What if you're a straight hypocrite? You don't do any of the stuff that you say you do, but people love it when you say stuff and you get
There
money.
are people like that on social media. That's for sure.
Now, that's a hypocrite. That person is a hypocrite. But by the definition of grifter, that's not a grifter.
Yeah.
It's not a grifter. You're still providing a service, and then they're paying you for that service. They don't have to pay you.
Right.
You're not reaching through the computer screen and twisting their arm to make them, super chat you. Get the crap out of here, man.
What about like Kenneth Copeland asking for money and saying God's going to give you money? Is that potentially a grifter? Because he's technically sort of swindling old ladies. Sort of.
That's getting closer. That's a little closer to the grift. That's a little closer. Wait a minute. Somebody's saying that Erica Kirk grifting.
Okay? And you're
chat.
better than that. You're too smart to get caught up in the pipeline. I do not care what kind of inside deets she has about the Blake Lively situation.
Oh my goodness gracious. She got issues, man. Let's see here. Oh, I speaking of leftists, and I don't really consider Tim Pool to be a leftist per se.
No, he's changed.
He's
changed
a little
too.
bit more of a classical liberal at this point, at least. He's not.
Well, he originally started out more liberal, more leftist, and then he got more towards the center of recent. And he might be a little bit conservative on some stuff now too. I think.
But check this guy out, and then I've got one more video after this one.
My coworkers are all in on the Charlie Kirk conspiracies. If the Republicans lose in the midterms, I believe that Candace Owens is wholly responsible. She is one of the biggest podcasts on the right doing everything.
So a bunch of stuff I get out of that. First of all, he kind of is just admitting that he's a Republican operative here. You know,
that's a good point. Yeah, because it's just all about, and so therefore Republicans are going to lose the midterms. Where he postured for so long is like, oh, I'm a classical liberal. Didn't he do that whole bit?
Oh, I'm a classical liberal, but you know they've gone insane, so I'm actually independent. But the right.
By the way, this guy on the left is a Democratic shill.
Oh, this guy.
Now it's just we're gonna lose. We are gonna lose the midterms, but
secular
to blame
talk.
Candace. I mean, listen, I'm enjoying what Candace did. It definitely is not helping them for sure. To blame Candace for them being in the political predicament that they're in is so insane.
It's cope. It's total cope.
Yes, and
Well, I think there's multiple factors to it, but it actually comes back to the whole country in the Middle East and our president and him being kind of like, I don't know, like he's changed ever since Charlie Kirk a lot. Our president has, and I'm hoping he comes back.
He did. Okay, so perhaps
it comes back to the Middle East. It's all about the Middle East country and their war, and that actually caused all of this. If they would have never, if that country never went into Gaza, we wouldn't be even in this situation right now. Candace wouldn't be. Well, actually, technically, she'd probably still be talking about because you got Charlie Kirk. But I mean, the whole point is, imagine if they never went in there. No one would be talking about that country as much, not even remotely as much as they have over the last.
But there's historically been reasons to talk about them. That's just the latest. That's just the latest.
Right. But that was like kind of what the spark that kind of made it all happen was, and then also the files, the island files, that and the war.
Sure.
It's just like a bunch of stuff like, hey, look at me, this country in the Middle East, we're causing all this chaos. You know, it's like, that's why everyone's talking about them.
Well,
right?
I think there were a lot of people. So I think what's interesting is that the more sort of pro-Palestinian sort of sentiment that you've seen actually for years in the Democratic Party.
It was more so over there for sure.
That's right.
But it's now coming over here.
That's right. It spread, man.
I'm seeing them like they're uniting with Muslims now, and I'm like, whoa, wait, no, let's not do that either. Okay,
well, but
there are some nice Muslims. Don't get me wrong. I had Muslims working with me in my business. I had a guy that was selling some stuff for me. There's nothing wrong with Muslims. My point is that we need to be concerned about our country not becoming Muslim also. That's a big deal, I think. Particularly some of the cities, like Dearborn and all these other ones, they're not doing too well. And look at what happened in Europe. Look at Europe. Look at England. Look at what's going on with all the cities there. It's getting kind of crazy.
Well, I think the biggest risk is what is it? Sharia law. That's
big too.
Yeah, that's where there's going to be that would create an issue. That of course is not compatible with representative democracy.
Ireland. Okay, if you look at the 20-year-olds in Ireland, only half of them are born in Ireland. The other half are actually immigrants, and they're mostly Muslims. So literally, fighting age people in Ireland, only half of them are from their country originally. So I mean, Ireland's no longer going to be Ireland in 10 years. I mean, look at what's going on there. I mean, that's like a big deal. I think to ignore that's really dumb. That's a big deal, I think.
Well, I again, if we talk more specifically about countries that are some sort of democracy, representative democracy, republic, whatever, anything in that sort of range of things, Sharia law is not compatible with that.
Yeah,
it's not
100%.
compatible with the free society. So that's
they have some courts already in Texas. They're already starting to try to do that stuff a little bit in Texas.
See, that's the part that I think is the most problematic part.
They have like a separate law for their own communities in our country, which is insane.
Well,
right?
Okay, so part of that I don't have an issue with, in that cultures sort of have. Now, it's not laws. We don't call them laws.
But they bring it in, like they have their own police in the city. They make sure they're all Muslim. Then they start bringing in Sharia law, and then the entire city has literally a Muslim.
So the problem that I would have with it is if they're attempting to usurp the structure. Like if you're usurping the structure, that's a problem. But if you have like a subculture, and your subculture is providing a lot of these things for its own people, I don't have an issue with that.
That's the difference. But what we've seen a lot of examples where they went way beyond.
Sure. And that's what I said. And that's what I started out by saying. I think the real issue here is Sharia law. So
you got to be very careful. You got to be very careful. It's not Coke or Pepsi. You got to be, like you said, nuanced with a lot of these things. You can't just, go one-sided or something.
Yeah. Let's see here. It's almost over here.
Talk about cowardly. Like, it's also cowardly. The guy who's really responsible for the state of the Republican Party right now is Donald Trump, right? Candace is a side actor in it. Like I said, she's certainly not helping your cause. She is sowing dissent among the ranks. But the reason the opening is there to do that is because of Trump. Of Trump sucking, of his destruction of the economy, of his destruction of free speech, wanting to start a million.
How did he destroy free speech? I'm not sure.
Economy, maybe. I wouldn't even agree with him on the economy. So I would say the tariffs are a benefit. I would say that our economy sucks right now, but I think he is bringing business to America. So I don't really agree with her on that. But I mean, that would be a point. You could say currently the economy sucks. That's true.
Yeah, currently it sucks, and I would say also, though, I think tariffs as a concept is a good concept, but the way that you roll it out, that's going to make all the difference. And I don't think that the way that he rolled it out has been the best way. I mean, I think there's been a lot of problems with it, mostly because you have to figure that. So the economy already sucks. And you have a lot of people that are barely holding on for dear life, barely holding on to the edge. And so then you say, okay, we're going to do this tariff thing, and this is going to kick a bunch of you that are way on the side of this thing way off, and you'll never be able to recover. But eventually it's going to be better. And it's like, I don't have an eventually because I don't have any savings. I don't know where I'm, how I'm going to pay my bills. I'm going to starve,
It sucks. It sucks that the economy is so bad that just trying to fix it can cause trouble. That's how bad it is. Like you have to go in like a surgeon to fix this thing. It's so bad. You know what I mean? Like that's how bad the economy is.
Well, I think that it was a little bit too much of a bull in a china shop with this. If there was some,
I think it's an awesome idea. It's just you got to wait for the jobs to come in, man. That's the problem.
Again, if it is possible for tariff money eventually to replace the IRS.
Yeah.
If that ever happened, that ever happened, then, you know, despite the tumult, I think it'll be worth it. But I don't know. You don't know if that's going to happen or if
we'll
it's
see how it plays out.
Well, yeah. Well, the thing is like it's kind of like we're not quite to all the way in the middle of the lake. Yeah. Right. We're not quite to the middle of the lake, and so it could be the kind of thing where, oh, this is hurting too bad, we need to just double back, right? But if you can get at least to the middle of the lake and you can say, well, it's going to hurt either way, we might as well go on over there because that's going to be better than where we came from. You know, if we can get to that point. But I think right now, too many people are like, let's just go back. Let's just go back, you know, because it's just because it's adding a lot of devastation to what's already messed up. So I think that the tariff idea is a good idea. I just think that there could have been a much better way to roll this thing out. And I don't know what it is. I just know that it's creating a lot of challenges for a lot of people. So anyhow, what's the end of this?
Wars, the fact.
Okay. I didn't want to hear what you had to say anyway. Okay. So this is the last one. This is Sabby Sabs, and I like Sabby. Now Sabby she describes herself as a leftist. She's a third-party advocate. So she actually is a fan of any third party. So it could be a right-leaning third party. She just thinks that the whole thing needs to be crushed. The two-party system sucks, and she's really a strong advocate for that. Now, some of her politics, the issues that she takes, I don't agree with. But a lot of the stuff that she says, I tend to agree with. Now, she is not really been a fan of Candace Owens, understandably, because she's more left leaning than Candace on a number of things. But she's been talking a lot about Candace lately because, you know, she's kind of doing some of her work for her. She's calling out a lot of this weird stuff with some of these, conservative groups, like TPUSA, some of the inner workings, some of the issues. And so she's been showcasing some things. But anyhow, let's play a little bit of this, Elise.
Things are working exactly the way I would say Turning Point USA wants it to. And of course, the way Israel wants it to, now that Charlie Kirk has been killed. In fact, if you look at what's happening with this whole Pentagon press crew, it's absolutely insane who they allowed to have a press pass into the Pentagon and who they didn't. They're letting influencers, pro-Israel influencers in there to question people, but not actual real journalists. Max Blumenthal pointed this out. Everybody take a look at this. Charlie Kirk personally lobbied Trump against Iran. 6 months later, with Kirk gone, TPUSA is in the Pentagon propaganda room lobbying Trump to strike Iran again. And I was like, you can't be for real. But listen to it. So this woman here is from Turning Point USA. Watch what she says.
Thank you. And my second question regarding Iran, there are reports that Iran's been planning on rebuilding its nuclear facilities. Iranian's president has said that it plans to rebuild its nuclear facilities with, quote, greater strength. Can you provide us on any sort of update on where that currently stands?
I can tell you that Operation Midnight Hammer was an absolute resounding success. Iran's nuclear capabilities were totally obliterated, and experts estimated that, it would take 2 years for them to recover. So thanks to President Trump's bold and swift action, we were able to dismantle that threat to the American people. And I think it was also a historic operation by virtue of the fact that there was a clear end state. We have seen this department get marred down in the Middle East in endless wars, in nation building. That has stopped under this president and this secretary. We now have a clear end state, a clear mission set, and Operation Midnight Hammer was a success in dismantling.
So everything's working just how they wanted it to, right? Donald Trump and Turning Point USA is trying to make MAGA neocons. They're trying to get back to, from what I've seen, the George W. Bush era of the Republican Party. They're trying to bring that back. Why are you bringing up Iran?
Yeah. See, that's what I was saying. Ever since Charlie Kirk died, it seems like Trump's changed and become more like just like the average president, like kind of just going towards like the Bush type of presidency, you know what I mean? More so, which is really disgusting. I'm hoping he changes his course because he was doing very well the first 6 months and he still has 3 years left. If he can just turn it back around to the right, I think a lot of it comes back to Susan Wiles, his chief of staff. I think it comes back to also some people who have tentacles on him. And if those can be somehow removed, then maybe we could see something good in the end from this. And maybe he'll turn around and get back on track. I'm hoping. But right now he's been very arrogant about like in his recent announcement, what was that, yesterday, his speech, State of the Union, he was just bragging. He's like bragging, oh, the economy's awesome, blah, 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 everything's perfect. I really didn't agree with that, you know. He had done some good stuff, but you don't usually brag for yourself, you know what I mean? You let other people brag for you. You don't go on there and brag. It just doesn't sound right, you know, when you brag for yourself, especially when you're not fully right, you know. So
yeah,
I think a lot of people are getting disenfranchised more so lately because the economy's been bad.
Yeah. So I would agree with that. And I mean, we know that this dude is prone to braggadocio. That's kind of his.
Yeah, especially lately.
Yeah, well, I mean,
more so than usual. He's like, it's like the more people criticize him and say the facts aren't really backing you up, the more he brags harder. He's like, oh, it's even better than I've been saying. It's even like, bro, come on, man. You haven't done a perfect job. Come on, just admit it. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not surprised by. Let's put it this way: I'm not surprised by his level of braggadocio now, given how much braggadocio that he's been prone to.
I was actually really not liking what he said about Rob. I mean, Rob Reiner, obviously not a good guy. But the way he talked about his death was just wrong. That was just messed up. Yeah. I mean, you don't talk like that, especially, I mean, even a normal person shouldn't talk like that. And he's the president talking like that. That's just like really not right.
And this is what a lot of folks look. And now, granted,
that was really bad. That was really the worst one. That was his worst one ever.
Well, check it out. I mean, no, maybe their bar is lower than your bar is with respect to what rises to you saying, okay, now that's too far. That's fine, and that's like a taste and a personal thing. But the fact that he pretty regularly has said things that are not what the president should be saying, or the way that the president should say them, we'll put it that way. I think people excused it because they were like, hey, we need to get somebody in here that's going to actually do some stuff. We need a bull in a china shop. Get in here and break some stuff.
Well, sometimes it's funny too.
Don't play by the rules. Don't do this and that. And it's like, okay, I get
like
that.
If it's Rosie O'Donnell, you know, that was funny. You know, that was funny.
And now look, I get it. But you have to understand that a bull in the china shop might turn and
attack you,
right? Attack you, right? Because it's just a wild thing in there, just doing wild stuff.
So, well, I mean, yeah, like the whole AI thing, him amping that up so much, I really was concerned about that. And the good news is the AI market's doing horrible, and they're not going to be able to replace all our jobs because they're about ready to go bankrupt. So that's some good news. But all you have to worry about is AI slop on your YouTube app. That's about it at this point.
Okay, this has about a minute left, and then
I got to go soon here. It's like 1 a.m. anyways. But yeah.
And if that means that some people are in the way, and you see this split that's happening that we were talking about before, where people are like, no, I don't want these wars. No, I don't want this.
No, I don't.
Why do you think all these people are coming after Nick Fuentes? They're not just coming after him because they're like, oh, I think he's a racist, so we're going to come after him. They're not just coming after him because of that. There's a lot of people that are racist. You don't see them coming after them.
Yep, that's true.
We have to use our brains. We have to think, guys. So they are trying to turn it into that style of Republican Party, the Nikki Haley, let's go to war and bomb people Republican Party. They want to bring it back to that. And all these people that are MAGA and are against the money going to Israel and against the wars, they're in the way.
Yeah, she's pretty smart. You know what? I think, honestly, I like how she's thinking there. I think the reason why Trump's doing what he's doing, though, like I said, is I think he got pulled into it with, I'm personally think it's the files, because he was turning against Bibi back in June, and he was talking against him, and all of a sudden he came over for a visit, and then he changed his tune immediately, and that's when everything went downhill. Was after that, but it really went downhill around September. It really went downhill. So I feel like he got pulled into some weird thing. Like they got him by the balls somehow. I don't know what they did, but they got him somehow, and he was free for a while. You know what I mean? Until they found a way to, and like you said, bull in the china shop. Yeah, he's going to screw up even if he's free. But now I don't feel like he's even free. But I agree with what you're saying. They're trying to take out, for instance, Nick. I don't think it's because he's racist that they're trying to take him out. I think it's because he says some. He actually says some political things about Trump. He actually predicted Trump would do this, and he was correct. So he's a really good political analyst, and he's got some funny stuff he says. He says some funny stuff about women too. That, of course, it makes him look like a misogynist, and people don't like misogynists, but but he does say racist. He admits he's a racist. He's a little bit racist, that's for sure. I mean, he is definitely, but
yeah, I think he's more than just a little bit racist.
And then also he likes Stalin.
That dude has said some ridiculous stuff.
Well, some of it's just joking around. He's just being an idiot, but I think some of it is real racism too. But I think a lot of it's just to get views. He's an ENTP. He's just trying to get views. He'll say some crazy shit so somebody watches him. But I think though with the Hitler and the Stalin, that's some messed up shit. I think that's also kind of him trying to just get views too. I really don't think he likes them, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't think he likes them though. But I could be wrong. I guess it's hard to tell with him sometimes. Sometimes he's joking, sometimes he's serious. You can't tell.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. That dude is that dude. As I said, he has said some pretty ridiculous stuff that you could only describe as clearly racist stuff. But
hey, at least he's not lying to you, and he just tells you who he is, right? So
yeah, did you see the interview that he did with Pierce Morgan?
I watched some of it. Yeah.
Okay, so he's kind of grilling him a little bit. Pierce is kind of grilling him a little bit, and then finally Nick just says, "Okay, yeah, okay, I guess I'm a racist." And then he says, but the way that he says it though, he kind of takes the teeth out of it by saying, "But everybody's a little racist. Everybody's racist." He does that. So then it makes it seem like it's not that bad because everybody's racist. It's like, nah, we're saying that you're at least a little more racist than usual. That's pretty funny. Okay. All right, man. It's been a good show. Good to get back with you, man.
All right, yeah, it was a good show, man.
All right, I'll see
Hopefully
you.
we get some good views on the back end. I mean, obviously, it seems like they were kind of not letting us be seen too much this time, but hopefully we get some good views on the back end, right?
We'll make it work.
Yeah, we'll make it work. All right.
All right, man.
You have a good day or
Peace.
night. I mean.